Hello and welcome to a Christmassy Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits with you. I'm throwing the Barricade Lego the site emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can say hi. Shax says, Happy Monday, Pat. Have a great stream, a good stream, man. Happy holidays, everyone. Indeed, Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. And I didn't put my Christmas hat on yet because here's the thing. This is gonna get sweaty. This thing is gonna get sweaty. So I'm trying to like hold off as long as possible before I wear it because it's gonna get sweaty. So I gotta put it on now, and then we'll put it on there, and we're good. That's fine, and everything's okay. But like if I wear this for like 20 minutes before the stream starts, this is a sweaty mess, and I don't need that. And Shaq's throwing the emotes in as well. Welcome, welcome. This is the intro portion of the stream. This is where we just kind of hang out and like, you know, give people a chance to come in because some of you know out there, you know that I don't actually start at 9 o'clock. That a couple minutes before 9, I start the stream in the pre-show thing, and I've got my logo up and I've got music playing. Right now it is holiday music, Christmassy music, because that is the time of year and I'm playing music. And then I start like a couple minutes into 9. And then I do this intro portion. And then at like 9:10, 9:15, we actually get into the model kit portion. I begin to actually build a model kit. So some folks know like, oh yeah, man, I'm going to watch Pat's stream tonight at like 9:20. And I see it. I understand it. I get it. But like, what if people didn't do that? And it's okay. And some nights, not a lot of people. Lately, I will say, we'll talk about it. We'll put, whatever, part the kimono, peek behind the curtain. You let people in through the side door. Numbers have been a little down lately. They've been a little down lately. People get busy with the holiday season. People got other stuff going on. People are putting out content that people want to get into. I know that the week of between Christmas and New Year's often does very well for streamers in general because the YouTube content that y'all consume, myself included, the TV content we consume, takes a pause. Things take a break. They take a week off, and suddenly you're like, oh, I don't have this thing that I watch. I guess I'll go check out a streamer. So I know that what some people call the holiday taint, because it taint Christmas and it taint New Year's, that week is good for content creators like myself, people that put out content on Twitch, streamers in general. But the lead-in is not great. This week, still going to be doing normal streaming. Streaming tonight, of course, till 11 p.m. Eastern. Then we'll go raid somebody. You know that's going to happen. On Wednesday, going to be playing Pokemon Emerald Randomizer. It's not a Nuzlocke run. But it is a randomizer, and it's a lot of fun. And we're going to go hit another gym because we got like 2 badges, I think. I think we got 2 badges, and we're on our 3rd badge. It's pretty good. And then Thursday, it's Christmas Eve, Pat. You're going to stream on Christmas Eve night? And the answer is yes. I'll be streaming Christmas Eve night. And I'm going to be working on a Nutcracker, a Lego Nutcracker. We're going to the overhead, but we'll just look at this. Do I have that up? I do not have that up. But I will be putting together Pokemon. I'm here for that. Yes, I'm playing a Pokemon Emerald as a randomizer. I started a while ago, and I just kind of go back to it every now and again. It's fun. We've been seeing legendaries, and that's just a weird thing that we can just do is see legendaries. I'm going to look for this. What do we got there? 150 ham time. Indeed. Thank you very much for the 150 bits. Always appreciate that. I'm going to take the old applause here. Hey, Lord Crashington. Welcome. We are going to get building in a second. I did want to just show you briefly. I don't think I've actually made this, so I got to put this together here. In my overlay, but here is the Nutcracker. You got big. This is what we're going to build on Thursday. I'm going to pause whatever I'm doing here, wherever we leave off on model kits today. I will pause it, and then I will build this on Thursday, and then go back to whatever I'm building. Right? So, because it's a Nutcracker, and the mouth moves. The mouth moves, folks. So I definitely got to build that. We got to I gotta get rid of this thing. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one here. Okay. Delete. Yeah. Um, Santa's coming. Santa's on something or not Santa. Yeah. Oh, Julie's is cute. It is. It's a little. That's just a nutcracker. It's just a nutcracker. Um, Lego bricks, the brickheads thing. And I like to do the festive holiday thing when I can. We don't do it all the time. There was a Valentine's Day where I built the Love Phantom because that is the mobile suit with love in the name, and that felt like a good little thing. I don't know if Lord Crashin, I bet it doesn't crack nuts. Its mouth does move up and down, but I feel like it probably doesn't have the tensile strength to crack nuts. I mean, it's Lego, but there's probably not much of a hinge there. So I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess no. But it should be a very fun build. I'm looking forward to doing that on Thursday. And then again, we'll pick it up there. Maybe soft peanut shells. Yeah, perhaps, no question, it could help out with some shells. And then Saturday, continuing model kit building. So this week's going to be good. I'm going to retweet my tweet. I'm going to finish up this orange friend, and then we'll get into the overhead to do our thing. So we do have this kit to build, and then we've got our next one. Now, Lashbrook, who's in the chat, did pick me up some Gundam markers, which have not arrived yet, and when they do, that's going to be when we're done with our next kit, which is we're going to start after this. I'll give you the preview right here. The Hajiroboshi. The Hajiroboshi is actually, this is a light pink. So I'm going to be hitting that with probably the gray marker. And that's going to be our first kit that we marker up, because I think that's going to be, I think the white, or the pink, it's like a pale pink, I think will really show off the marker. We could do it for this one, but also I don't know. And again, this will be my first endeavor to really show you how to do stuff that I'm not super confident in. Confident's the right word. The right word is confident. I am not super confident about doing marker and doing panel lining. It is not a thing that I have done. So I've watched a bunch of tutorials, and I have some kits that I will be kind of testing on to kind of get the vibe. And I'm fairly confident that I can pick it up. We'll see. If you want to test it, if color combination works, I like to take the marker to the lettering on the sprue. Oh, that's a good call, Lashbrook. So Lashbrook is saying, if I have this off-white here, let's say that this was off-white. This is pure white, right? Let's say this is a pink of the Hajiroboshi. I will take my marker and I will hit here, and I will take a look at that, and see if that feels good, or maybe I'll hit the numbers on the sprue, and kind of get a sense of that and see how that looks. And Lord Crashton says, "R.I.P. brief WCW dude, Kevin Green." Yes, pro football player, Hall of Famer, I believe. Kevin Green. Was in the WCW, I should say, for a cup of coffee. He briefly came in as a partner of Four Horsemen, Mongo Michaels, and then he was betrayed, and then got his revenge. He was clearly a footballer that was playing a style, an athletic style of wrestler. He knew some wrestling, but clearly was in there mostly as an athletic person that could move around. He was here's the thing I love, right? So most of the time, if you are a professional wrestler who was a football player, you were a college football player that washed out, didn't get into the NFL, or you didn't have a great NFL career. And in fact, most likely, you had a promising NFL career because that way you have name recognition. But in the reality, ends up happening is that you get hurt. You just get hurt. And the injury that you have means that you can no longer play football at a competitive level, but you can still wrestle. and you have the athleticism and the training to do it, and you go in and you get the wrestling training. Um, Kevin Green was doing it while he played football. He literally would wrestle in his off season. Um, and the reason he stopped being a professional wrestler who only worked so many gigs, like I said, cup of coffee, was because the NFL changed their rules about what you could do outside the NFL while under contract. Uh, Basically, in all athletic things, but mostly about wrestling. Basically, the NFL was like, "Hey, don't be a wrestler if you're gonna play football. Do that after or instead of." And so he had to stop doing it basically because the NFL was just like, "We got to stop this," and he was definitely a reason for it. Uh, which makes sense. Or let's say you're Gronk, you start your wrestling career um, while you are not a wrestler or while you are not a football player, and then as soon as you become a football player again, you are done wrestling. Basically, Gronk got the WWE to pay him a lot of money to train to be a wrestler, kind of, while he was in between football gigs. Because I'm not saying anything about the man and I am only saying that at the very least, I will say this. Somebody who knows how to make money is in the ear of Rob Gronkowski. I'm not saying that the Gronk family, the father and his sons, I am not making any claim to their financial savvy, their business savvy, or anything like that. I am just saying that somebody is telling them how to make that money, and they are listening to it. Because here's the thing, right? When it comes to professional wrestlers who become professional wrestlers from other things, sometimes that is somebody who's just like, I've hit this level of fame, and now I get to do wrestling shit. This rules. And there are other people who are like, there's a lot of fucking money in wrestling. I think I can go do that now. And the approach of that is two very different things. It generally feels like the people who come in to wrestling that have a passion, that grew up loving it, or had a family member that loved it, or their kids love it, that generally it ends up being a pretty good time, right? Like Karl Malone just thought DDP was pretty cool, and he thought WCW was pretty cool. And so Karl Malone was like, "Karl, I want to do this thing, right? This seems like a thing that would be fun to do." Steve Amell, Arrow, loves wrestling and was like, "Well, I'm a superhero on TV. I think that means I get to do wrestling now. That's pretty cool." Those generally feel like this is a pretty good time. And other people come in because they're like, there is money here. There is money for me to make in this thing. I'm going to make that money. The most recent positive example is Pat McAfee. If you've been watching NXT, you already know that Pat McAfee is a better promo than many people on that roster and on the main rosters as well. Pat McAfee is one of the best talkers in all of WWE. He is a natural talent. He's a former professional football player turned podcaster and TV and YouTuber, who in occasional color commentary for football sports commentator, that is just unbelievably good, and he's pretty okay at the wrestling. He's pretty okay at the wrestling. He can, I don't know. He needs help. He needs to work with good people. He's not going to carry a match, but he's got athleticism. He's taking risks. He's having a good time doing it. He's got a stable of people that work really well, which is great. He's not He's making old hands who maybe their issue they have is on the mic and giving them a platform by being their voice and just doing an excellent job. And he'll take his bumps and his licks, and he's psyched about it. WCW, says Lord Crashington, was all about athletes at that point. Indeed. So there is a in wrestling, as a business wants to be accepted and cool. It needs to be cool. It needs to feel like it's cool. So it looks towards things that are successful and accepted as cool and looks for approval. Rock and wrestling, that's approval. That's like, yeah, put us on MTV. Yes, please. Cyndi Lauper rules. Cyndi Lauper likes us. You should like us too. That is, a whole thing. WCW is like, oh, we're going to get athletes and, we're going to get sports athletes. We're going to get bodybuilders. Like, oh, if you're a amateur wrestler, we want you. If you've done a lot of, if you're a musician, please come hang out. Yes, we will make members of the band The Misfits tag champs. Yes, the Insane Clown Posse, please come in and wrestle. Please. Please, please, please. We want your fans to tune in. Yes, we'll have a wrestler based on the Demon, based on Art of Kiss and the idea of like Kiss's personal wrestler. Please, 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 please. We will definitely do that. We need it. Oh, yes, let's have monster trucks of our wrestlers. We gots to do that. We will definitely make this golfer special guest ring announcer. Please, please, please. Like, it is a need. It is a need to feel accepted and cool and wanted. To have by association. And at the same time, loving wrestling is one of the worst things you can do, according to wrestlers. According to people in the business, people that work in the business, loving wrestling and wanting to be a part of it makes you a sucker, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Now, I am not here telling you that they shouldn't hire people as writers or producers or crew or anything like that don't love wrestling. You should hire lots of different kind of disparate people, and in fact, you should definitely hire people that don't know everything of the past, because they like, failures aren't necessarily failures if you can look at it in a new light, and there's always room for people to question assumptions that have been decided are fact, right? To make questions of things that are like, well, why? Oh, we just always do it that way. Well, why? Huh? Like that kind of thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should. But I am also saying, like, if you became a writer for WWE, you have to hide the fact that you've been like a lifelong fan. They don't want that. I don't know why they don't want that, but they don't want that, which always seems like nonsense. But yeah, it is often ridiculed if you're like that, and it's strange. It's a strange thing. But I want to thank everybody that's here tonight. We got a little bit of a crew. Hopefully, we're going to have a few more folks join us as we go on. And if not, that's a bummer. But I'm hoping that people do want to hang out on some streams, because it's nice to have people here. We are almost body complete with this kit. We got to work on the weapons that go on the sides. I forget the names of these things, but they're big old. I forget. Let's see. The Buster Binders. That's right. So basically, this kit is the Beam Master, because it's got like these. It's got these weapons that it's got a gun, but then the gun can lock into, or guns, but it can lock into these things on the side with the beam busters that basically overcharge the guns. And they also are on the sides, and they look cool. This kit looks pretty cool, but this is definitely as like a support class kit. It's meant, to be in the background and to like jump in and help out by shooting a bunch of lasers. Because it's got shoulder-mounted weapons, which I like. And yeah, it's got some stuff we got to put in the back there. Oh, pre-rollets have been disabled. No longer. Anybody comes at this point, they're going to see a pre-roll ad. All right, so yeah, we got to build these things here that go on the side, but we can get. We're almost ready to put these things together. Let's get these together here. Go over to F. I wanted to inform you folks, folks that have been following this saga, you will be possibly happy to know that theoretically tomorrow we will indeed get a delivery of. I forgot if this has knee lasers too. So basically, I believe that these are supposed to be knee lasers, but it's just not great. But mostly it's got it mostly just has the buster things on the side. I don't think it has the knee lasers. Tomorrow we're getting ourselves a washing machine. This has been a months-long process. You may know this. Appliances hard to get these days. New appliances, because there were a couple months where they weren't making them, and that industry is not like figures out how many they need throughout the year, and then they don't predict a pandemic and a shutdown of their assembly. So getting a new washing machine has been a long process, but it will be delivered tomorrow, and that rules. So no more trips to the laundromat. Very excited about that. Getting to do some laundry here in my house. So yeah, that's coming tomorrow. But yeah, if you're like, basically, I would say this. If you are like, oh, this thing is kind of dying, we're probably going to need a new one. Consider looking at one. Don't look for something that has appliances in stock. We're talking ovens, we're talking fridges, we're talking washers and dryers and washer dryers. Big appliances, big ticket items, right? If you're going to go out there and get one of those, make sure that you are getting one from a company that has them, or a store that has them in stock, and not ordering and delivery, because they want to sell you something. But they want to sell you a thing they don't have. They just don't have. They don't have it. So they're going to sell you on the idea of the thing. Or consider secondhand appliance, that, if it's like to tide you over just so you get that. Hey, Jam, welcome. Thanks for being here. Throwing in those emotes. But also consider that is another thing that you could do. I'm going to Oops, I got a little love here. Oh, nice. Also, if you are able, maybe check out that cool thing that happened tonight. What is the name of it? Oh yeah, the Great Conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter, if that is something in your hemisphere that you can check out, because that's pretty dang neat. That happened, and maybe you want to check that shit out. That's just some cool shit. Saturn and Jupiter are basically the closest together they have been since the year 1200 something, and that's bonkers. That's just straight up bonkers how close they are together. So that's just a neat, cool thing that's happening, and you can go see it. It was here in the sky, because it is a solstice, and it is the shortest day of the year as far as daylight goes. And, the optimist inside of me says, hey, it's just going to get, the days are just going to get longer from here on out until the summer. So every day is better because there's more sunlight. There's always too much light pollution and stuff for me to really see stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ashbrook. Yeah, luckily on the East Coast, it was early enough that it was dark and the moon was out, but there were no other stars in the sky. So it was easy to identify because it was clear enough. But yeah, I'm sorry that there's too much light pollution for you to be able to check some shit out. But yeah, that was pretty neat. That was a thing I hadn't heard about. My mom was like, "We have to go look at this." Some people claim that this is that this was the star that the three wise men spotted. Wasn't actually a star. It was this event, and I don't know if I believe that, but it's a cool story, and it was a cool little bit of like thing that was happening out there. We got to put a sticker on this. We'll get this connected together, and we got to put a sticker right here. This kit definitely, it's a high grade. They're going to be stickers instead of important pieces. That is just a thing, unfortunately, that you have to deal with. I don't enjoy that. I would prefer layers of plastic instead of stickers. But what are you gonna do? Like, especially big stickers. I think like, oh, it's a green color, like it's a green light. Like, okay, that's fine. But if it's just like, this piece should be a different color, so we're gonna give you a big sticker for it. But yeah, there's some stuff going on Monday night. Of course, I will link to a video I put out. Pat Bear's Anime Club new episode. It is my Pat Bear's Anime Club Awards. That's right. I did my own award show thing. Cause why not? Why shouldn't I have an award show? Everyone else gets one. And so I did some categories and gave out some awards. But I didn't do best boy and best girl. I did my take on best boy and best girl, and I didn't do like I don't know. Yeah, I didn't do like best director or anything like that. I just like gave out some awards for things I think are neat and stuff I wanted to give a shout out to. Categories that meant something to me. All right, we're almost done here, and I think the video turned out good. But I'll link that. And that was. I said it was the last video that I had to make this year. It's technically not true because obviously my streams, but I'm not counting that. Because I do have to make my last Q&A video for my patrons. So that is the last thing I actually have to make. But that's 8 to 10 minutes probably answering a couple of questions. I got to send that email out at some point. That's actually, I put this on upside down. I got to put this on the other way. Let's see if I can take this sticker off. I got too cocky on this sticker. And I put it on upside down. I'll have to be better with the other one. All right, was able to take it off. We'll put it the other way. Yes, that's better. That's what it should go. Yeah, so I still have that. So that's technically my last video of the year. Is that, but I'm done with all of Baering the List. I finished those videos up. So that's done. And I did... oh, we got to do the other sticker. That's right. And I did this week's Pat Bear's Anime Club. Because my next Pat Bear's Anime Club will be recorded live as a Wednesday stream. I'll do my Wednesday stream. And then I will go and do... or then I'll end up going on my YouTube after the fact. But, yeah, Pat Bear's Anime Club is just like, doing it live is fun because people can kind of give their comments or be like, wait, what? And sometimes it's just like, folks that don't watch every stream like don't know what I've talked about a show and are like, wait, what's happening? Like a friend of mine was talking about getting into Higurashi When They Cry. Well, he's getting into the visual novels that the animes are based on. And I was like, it's definitely not for me, but I really appreciate the weirdness of that and the choice they made this season. I think that choice is spectacular. And if you don't know, Higurashi When They Cry is a show that... at this point, people know it starts off both in visual novel and an anime as a slice of life, but it's not a slice of life. It's a psychological thriller of a show. Some dark stuff is happening, and there is a repeat, and there's some magic, and it's spooky and it's fucked up. It's a fucked up show, right? So what happens? It comes out, all this other stuff, right? There's the game. There's an anime. This year, 2020, they're like, hey, we're making the anime again. We're going to remake it. It's going to be the 2020 version where we're restarting the show, with a new, new old art style, and you update it for a new generation. And classic fans will like it too. So don't worry. It's going to be cool and different. And people are like, "Oh yeah, all right. Oh, it's a remake. Huh. Okay. That could be cool, It's a good show, but yeah, it could use maybe an update on the art and like new techniques, and sure, okay, it's been a while. All right. Here's the thing, folks. Couple episodes in, the show has a new name, and it becomes, instead of Higurashi When They Cry 2020, it's Higurashi When They Cry Gao. And it's not a remake. They didn't remake it. It's a continuation of the first show, but because the show is fucked and the world is fucked, it's presented as if it's a restart of the universe, because they were supposedly a happy ending, but I guess the happy ending didn't stick, and now it's this show, and people were like, what the fuck? Holy shit. And of course there's some people that are like, yeah, I knew it wasn't just going to be a remake, like they were going to fuck with it. Of course I knew that. And I'm like, sure you did. You called that, I'm sure. And also, like, even if you did, cool. It's mostly that they were like, this is what the show is. And then they were like, actually, it's not a remake. It's a sequel. And it's just like fucking awesome. It's a sequel where like one of the characters knows that this is a sequel, and everyone else is in the world of a remake. And I think that fucking rules. And like I said, I want nothing to do with it. I'm not going to watch a minute of it. I don't give a shit. That is not my show. I do not care. But like, that's awesome. All right, so we got our beam things over here hanging out. They're ready to go. Now we got to put some weapons on it. We got to build some weapons. Oh, we got to build a backpack, and then we put some weapons on it. So first we'll do a backpack. Yes, again, the worst part of this kit is the fact that these big things are on the waist, and it does make the arms, like, not look great. I bet there's a way to make this work better, but I don't know. But it does make it, like, you got to put the arms, like, high on the waist here, and I don't love that. I also like that because these things, like doing like that, it just doesn't lay down. You gotta do it like this. Now it can lay down. But yeah, let's keep working on this creamsicle by building the backpack and putting on the last sticker, because we gotta get this backpack on. Pretty easy. So we'll get this together with C1. Anyway, like I said, even if the show's not for me, I like when things take a risk and do a thing. I'm always up for that. Like, throw it back to wrestling. A man got set on fire last night, and the thing I care the least about is if it was clear that it wasn't a man and was a mannequin. I do not care that a mannequin dressed to look like the Fiend Bray Wyatt got set on fire. I do not give a shit if it was like, oh, well, you could tell. It's like, yeah, the alternative is they lit an actual person on fire, which I don't want. I don't want that. I do not care that it looks fake, because the alternative is that a man got set on real fire, and I do not want that. Now, if you want to talk about how the fact that it sucks that Bray Wyatt loses all the goddamn time, we can talk about that. How the WWE consistently destroys the credibility of a character over and over and over again, and then leaves it to a talented performer to build himself back up. I thought he was on fire a bit. I saw a clip of him getting into the ring. Yeah, so here's the thing. He gets lit on fire. There's a shot of him getting lit on fire. He does. But then Randy Orton gets back into the ring and pours gasoline on him, and then the fire consumes his body as he's laying down. That's a mannequin. So he did get lit. He did get lit on fire, but then burning in a fire was a mannequin. So they did both. They did both of those things. In the same way that there's a part where Randy's on a rocking chair and then there is a trail uh, um, of gasoline that then comes, and then like it's very clear that there's a cut there so that Randy could get very far away from the chair, but it looked like he just dodged out of the way. Jam says that match was such a downer after the Reigns Kofi match, or the Reigns KO match, Kevin Owens match, and I would agree that it's. Here's the thing: Randy Orton still works at Randy Orton's pace. If he's into a match or not into a match, he still works his own pace, and that was going to be different. But also, I don't think you can do a match where a man is set on fire and then do anything else. I don't think you can put that anywhere but last. I just don't think it works. I don't think you can be like Randy Orton. Randy Orton set the Fiend Bray Wyatt on fire, and now Drew McIntyre is gonna face Drew. Drew McIntyre is gonna defend his belt against AJ Styles. True. I think the match had to be last. Yeah, I think it had to be last. I think it. But I also think that it it continues to not do anyone favors. Also, Randy Orton has already won too much in the year 2020. Randy Orton has had too many wins in the year 2020. Randy Orton became champion in the year 2020. A wrestling ring seems very flammable. Yes, I don't disagree with you. But Randy Orton does not need to win against one. He can win against Bray Wyatt. He shouldn't. No one should be beating the Fiend. So you can beat Bray Wyatt and the Fiend comes out. That should be a thing. Nobody should be beating the Fiend. In the same way that Finn Balor's the Demon shouldn't have ever lost. But also then, why does he ever wrestle without doing it? That's why there's a long pause on it, because it's been that. Finn Balor was able to say, I want to retire the Demon for a while. It'll make a shitload of money when I bring it back, which is true. It will. But he was able to say, this is just bad. It's not doing what it needs to do. I never meant for this to be a thing that I did all the time. So we'll just park it for a little bit, and then we'll be able to bring it back and make a boatload of money with it and sell a bunch of merch with it, which is very accurate. But yeah, the Fiend portion of Bray Wyatt needs to go away for a long time. I didn't watch tonight, obviously. I'm streaming. I didn't watch before it. I'm really hoping that it started with Firefly Funhouse and just be oh yeah, the Fiend? Oh yeah, he's out for a little while. But I'm still Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is fine. Bray Wyatt nothing bad happened to Bray Wyatt because the Fiend got lit on fire, which is nonsense, I know, but I think would work way better. But all of it's nonsense, and I do like my bollocks in wrestling. I like my creepy weirdness. But I also don't think that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt vibe well together. I don't think they have good chemistry. It would be great if this is the end of them as a wrestle boys, and they don't wrestle anymore. That would be great. Let's end this feud with that. I bet we won't, but what if we did? I don't know. The thing I'm most bummed about wrestling is the thing that has to happen that I'm bummed about is Big E is going to take the title away from Sami Zayn, which is a shame because Sami being able to unify the belts after it was stripped from him because he didn't want to go to work, and him coming back, them running with the idea that he felt like he hadn't lost the belt, and then he won the match and became champion again or continued to be champion. I think that's been great. But the only thing I'm really hoping for is I would like Sami Zayn to not be able to weasel his way out of beating Big E and then try to actually wrestle his way out and still lose, but have like a come to Jesus moment. Uh, and I would like the person that he turns to rediscover his love of wrestling to be Drew Gulak. I want Drew to do what Drew did to Daniel Bryan. I want him to attempt to do with Sami Zayn, because I think that would be a fantastic storyline. I think that would just be killer and great, and I would love to see face Sami again. Because there was a thing, right? Like, none of it matters, and it's fine because it's the internet stuff. It's not wrestling stuff. It's sometimes people use the internet to kind of pitch things they want to do in the ring, but most of the time it's just whatever. But Kevin Owens said a thing that I thought was really interesting. He somebody was talking about the match, and he said like, "Oh, it was great. Why don't you have any friends?" And Kevin Owens said, "The choices I made along the way, and also the Riot Squad weren't there that night. They had the night off." And I love I love the idea that Kevin Owens says the Riot Squad are his friends, because that stable fucking rules. That immediately elevates the Riot Squad. And Kevin and Ruby have wrestled each other in the past, because as her independent name of Heidi Lovelace, she was Chikara and various other promotions, including some Ring of Honor stuff. She definitely fought Kevin Owens because she worked a lot of intergender. So the idea of Ruby and Kevin Owens working together would be fantastic. But the other thing is yeah, Kevin Owens as a face definitely needs some like friends. And I don't know if it should be another like turning Sami good so they can work together again. I don't think that's necessarily the solution, but I do love the idea of Kevin Owens like looking to make some face friends, because he's like hurt people in the past and they don't want to work with him. In kayfabe, not in reality. All right, so I got our beam sabers here, our classic beam sabers. No place to put those when you don't use them. Let's build. Let's go there. We got our top things here, and then we've also got our other ones that go on the knees. You were right. There are lasers that attach to the knees, Lashbrook. We got to build those now. And of course, there's a shield, because of course there is. There's got to be a shield. But yeah, wrestling. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I love it, but also it's a nightmare and terrible. But I still do love it. I wish I didn't. But I do. I do still love the old pro res. Wish it was better. Oh yeah. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, we got the Pokemon stream. It's still a GM. Gotta have a shield. Yes, this is still a GM, even though it's the Beam Master. It's still, because it's modified. Still got that. Let me tell you about this next kit we're working on. You would be fine not knowing, have never heard of the Hajiroboshi. If you're like Pat, I know a lot about Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've never heard of the Hajiroboshi. What the fuck is going on with this kit? Well, you don't know about the Hajiroboshi because it's not part of the main series. It's also not from a manga. It's from a mobile game. There was a Iron-Blooded Orphans mobile game, and one of the Gundams from that is the Hajiroboshi. Because that's not the same naming convention as all of the other Gundams. It's a frame, it's the secret frame that doesn't fit, because some of it is similar to the other kits, but some of it's not. But basically it was on it's a reference to the planet that it was found on. because it is like a weird. It's basically like side fiction. It's not necessarily. It's not even fan fiction. It's like side fiction. Yeah, there's. It is, to my best knowledge, the second ever mobile suit that I've built on this stream that is based on a video game. Because we did the 785, the 785, which was first introduced, and I think only introduced on a Sega Saturn game. Uh, and that was at the time the only one I've ever built that came from a video game. We've built plenty that have come from manga, the world of manga, side stories, like variations. Then there's some stuff that's come out of like the art books, like the little weird comics in magazines. We've built some magazine introduced mobile suits, but we've never, as far as I can tell, we've never built a mobile suit this is the second only that we've ever built a mobile suit that was introduced in a video game, and then it's also a mobile game. This is introduced in a mobile game, so that is a little weird, but I don't mind it because that's a cool idea. So we're gonna build a mobile game mobile suit, but they're like, yeah, it's not part of the collection. This was not part of the the original Gundams from the Calamity War. This is like a variation. These things don't want to stay on. Holy crap. I'm going to try to... Oh, wow. Yeah, these things want to pop right the fuck off. Wow. Wow, yeah, these do not want to be on here. Let me set this up and put these on here. But yeah, these things... if you were going to display this kit, I would definitely say get some tack or cement and put them in place where you want them, because those things just want to pop right off. Let's build a gun. It's time to build a gun. But yeah, I love that. I love the idea that we're working on a thing from a movie that is, or not movie, I should say, a video game. I don't know if it was released in the U.S. I'm guessing it wasn't at the time of Iron Blooded Orphans. It probably wasn't an international release. It could have been, but I think that's cool. I think it's cool they made this mobile suit. That they even made the kit for it as a high grade. Because we've built pretty recently. I worked on the kit that was from the manga for Iron Blood Orphans, and that kit was pretty neat. And that kit had the one with like the arm that was from another mobile suit, because it was like a guy was just like putting together based on remnants of things he could find, and so he was missing an arm, and it had like weird armor. I thought that was a neat idea. All right, so we'll put this on here. Okay. Get a big weapon on there. All right, and then let's see. Some more H's there. But yeah, I'm excited to work to finish this kit up. This has been a very easy build, but an enjoyable build. So I've been happy to work on that, and then work on some other stuff. I am looking at things to make a purchase of. I have some income to incorporate more into the purchasing of model kits that came from I got paid for a thing finally. I've been waiting a real long time to get paid for a thing, so I am going to pick up a kit soon, and then of course at the end of the year, but by the end of the year I will have at least one Amazon gift card, and then my subscribers here will be able to. They will get both my patron, any patron, and all of my Twitch subscribers will get a link to go and vote on what I build next, or what I purchase. So they'll be able to say, like, I'm going to put like a few options up. Here's some things on Amazon that I've been kind of earmarking. let me know if you want to see me build one of these, like which of these you would like to see me put together. Uh, just a way to say, thank you to folks, and maybe get them excited about a thing. Because I also understand, like, you might want me to build this kit, but you don't want to spend $38 on it for my Amazon wish list, which I understand. I greatly, fully understand that. Why you wouldn't want to do that. Why you could be like, that kit looks cool. I'm not going to pay you to, I'm not going to pay for it, but you should still get it with the money you have set aside. So, but yeah, tomorrow I'll be making a couple more purchases. My backlog right now is not great. It is the next kit we're going to start building. It is a Goku, which is a one-day build. That is one stream to put that Goku together. That is not going to take long at all. And a Lego thing that I don't know how long it's going to take me to build, but the kind of like random, like, I'm going to take a bunch of Lego and then I'm going to make a my own mech out of it. Like, I don't know how long that will take, so that's really it. And then, hey, let's do this right now before we take our pause to the cause. We're going to do the thing that I like to do, the Pat Bear special, which is go to USA Gundam store and see if my mobile suit has shipped. I bet it hasn't. Not mobile suit, sorry. The Goku. Wow. I'm going to jumble words here. I'm going to take a breath. Ultimate Gohan action figure model kit is still unfulfilled. The payment status says unfulfilled. Does it still say arriving in December on the website? Let's see. Let's see if it does. Figurize standard. Ultimate Son Gohan. It is still in pre-order. And it still says estimated arrival December 2020. I don't know if that kit is ever going to ship. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that. At this point, I definitely don't want to cancel it because I know that if I cancel it, it's going to arrive and start being sold, and then I'm going to spend more money to get it. So I'm not going to do that, but it is really frustrating because I was supposed to have that in October. Oh, also in January, we're going to get that Ultron, we're really the Nautiku, the Endless Waltz version that we pre-ordered. That's arriving sometime in January. And that'll be cool. So we can put this like this, or we can put it either weapon on the top, which is a cool idea. I think we'll put it like this. Yeah, that looks neat. Do it like that. So we got our machine gun here, machine gun rifle, and that can go in the hand. It can be held by one of these, or it can attach to this big beam thing here to make it a beam weapon. I think we'll do that because that looks neat. That's a nonsense thing that I like. We'll just attach it there. You can see that there. Just stick it in. Nonsense. And then and then also you could just hold it, which is also nonsense that I appreciate. You could hold it here, or you could hold it on the side there. But I like to just being attached. I think that's good nonsense. Let's build the other gun. Very quick and easy to put this other gun together. Can that other gun attach? I don't think it can. Oh, you know what? This kit comes with a shield because this is the GM3, but the shield, it just comes with a shield because it's recycling components. So it actually doesn't, there's no step here for me to build the shield. Like the idea of putting the shield together is not part of this kit, but it does come with it. So I guess we could see what that looks like. So yeah, literally the last step is building this last gun. So we'll just build this last gun, and then we're technically done. And then, of course, we'll take a pause for the cause, and then we'll get back to building. But yeah, I guess we could figure out how to get this together. But yeah, it does have a shield. It's just not... It comes with a bunch of parts for doing this as a different kit, because that is what happens when you take a kit that exists. That is the secret tech of doing Gundam Build Divers and Gundam Builders Divers Re-Rise is when mobile suits get an upgrade in the show. That's just extra parts they have to print out or make for the kit that already exists, and then they can just sell it again, basically. C117 with some of the old parts, and then you just get extra parts. Then you just have extra components, and it's like, okay, here's some of the extra components for this kit. Let's get that there. And we'll go there. But we can take a look at the there's no instructions for the shield, but I feel like we could at least take a look at it. And then, of course, we'll take a pause for the cause. We got to talk about anime. We got to talk about some anime, because 2 shows that I watch had their 12th episode either yesterday or today and are done, which is a shame. Okay, so that doesn't do that. You can't do that with that, but you can at least have it. Yeah, these things do not want to stay on. I would definitely get some blue tack if you wanted this to be on display, because these things just want to fall out immediately, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on to get them in there. They're just, they're not meant to stay, which is a real shame. Really annoying. It's probably the worst part of this kit, I would say. And this came off. Put that there, because we'll take a photo. And let's just look at some extra parts that come in here. I'm sure there's a backpack there, but I wonder if, I don't think you get all the components of the shield, you just get some extra stuff. Like, there's a different version of the head, because his head is different. There's some other connectors here. There's some shoulder pieces that are different. Oh, you do get this star, though, yeah. So we can, kind of build a shield, which is neat. All right. Do it like this. There. Now, if you really wanted a shield in this color, you could do it, because the shield is there. I'm sure that I could figure out the connectors. They might not actually be here to do the connectors properly, but you could at least put that together from the original parts. So that's nice, but we'll include it, because why not? But I'm gonna have to stand this up to take its photo. But let's take a photo of it. And we'll just do it like that. I think that's neat. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to take an artsy photo of this model kit. I'm definitely not a fan of that shield in those colors. I can understand that. I think the fact that this is the gold of the chest piece and the neck, I think that the collarbone, I should say, I think that's cool that it's that color, because there's so little of this gold in there. But I think the gold immediately against the orange here doesn't work as well as the gold does against the brown or the tan. So I do think it doesn't look great there. But I do think, I will say, I think this orange and the clear of the beam is really neat. I really like that. All right, let me take this photo here. Take my photo standing up, because it's not going to be good laying down. Let's see. Do it like this. I can. That. I like that. Use that as a backdrop. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And that's that kit. I'm going to drink a little water here. Take a second. This is the Beam Master. We finished the Beam Master. And it's cool weapons and parts that come off immediately. Holy shit, these parts come off very fast. Put that back in the box for now. And we'll switch over to next kit. We are going to take a pause for the cause, of course. Got to talk about ways you can support the channel if that's something you'd like to do. And then get ready for our next thing. I'm going to go hit this. I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to go up there because I have to stand up. And I have to get my next kit because I have it outside my arm's reach. And then I will be here. All right, I'm back. Yep, I put this kit down, and then I must have moved it at some point because it was not a place I could easily reach it. The Hajiroboshi. We got some stickers. We got 2 unfortunate huge stickers. Always, you hate to see it. You hate to see huge stickers. I assume these are from the back jets because this kit has this kit looks like it should transform and it definitely doesn't, and that is weird. But this kit has back boosters here. Look at these things, right? The wings on this wouldn't this be part of a kit that flies? Like you would expect these to be on a kit that transforms into a jet. At least in the thrusters here. Now maybe it's because it does space travel, space flight, but it's weird. To me that is odd. It is odd that it doesn't do that. But it is still very similar. Look, you can see this line alone. This line right here is oh yeah, this is a Iron Blood Orphans kit. You can tell almost immediately, even if it has a different naming convention. But we got connectors here. And yeah, but this pink, I haven't seen on here. Okay, you can tell this is pink, right? I think the photo, it's an off-white, but you're not quite clear. But I think on video, this reads as a light pink, right? I think this definitely reads as pink and not white. Let's just see here. Yeah, here we go. Yes. You should definitely be able to see the difference between my white earbuds and this. Right? I think that definitely stands out as being different colors. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, very light pink. Yeah, but I think that, yeah, I think that will show. I think when I take a photograph of it at the end of the stream, I think it'll definitely read as pink. Although I don't know how far we'll get as far as the actual colors. But yeah, there's some cool stuff on this kit. It's not going to be too big of a build, too involved of a build, but we'll get going on that. But first, a pause for the cause. That's right, everybody. This is the part of the stream where I talk about ways you can support the channel if that's something you'd like to do. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. Let the people know that you are a subscriber. The Scythe is for Tier 2 subscribers. The other ones are for Tier 1. Thank you to everybody that does subscribe. Appreciate it very much. Thank you to everybody that's giving me a follow. Did you know that I am currently at 1,400 followers? That's incredible. That's such a big number. So many people with their notifications turned on, knowing when I go live. That rules. I love that, seeing that giant number. Hey, Ristafan. That's awesome. So thank you to everybody that follows. Thank you to everybody that subscribes. You can use Twitch, your Twitch token. If you have Amazon, link to Twitch, your Prime Gaming token, and you can use that instead of Cash Money. You can also use Cash Money. You could gift us up. You could join Sin and Silver at the top of our gift-giving leaderboard. If you gave one gift to a community member who is not a subscriber, you'd be in the top 3 right there. Just one. Also, thank you to everybody that's given bits and coins. Jam and Robot and Shax, thank you so much. Bits and coins, always appreciated. We'll get through this really quickly. We'll get back to building, but I do like to do this after every stream just as a way to kind of promote what I'm doing, and then we'll get back into model kits. And also, wrap up my thoughts on By the Grace of the Gods and Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, and then the second to last episode of Maesetsu opening act. But if you didn't want to become a subscriber, if you don't want to gift a sub, if you are, that's not your thing, that's not your style, I got a Patreon. You want to join at the $1 tier or the $3 tier? The $5 tier because you just don't want to use Twitch that way, but you still want to give $5. The $10 tier, the $10 tier, literally, I don't have a lot of $10 backers. Only a couple of them vote on the kits that I build. They all get a chance to, and some of them just don't, which is fine. So like this, it came down to the wire if I was doing this or Goku. So this kit won over that. And thank you to everybody that is already a patron. If you're here and you're already a patron, appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. If you're watching this later on YouTube, first off, hi YouTube. Second off, check the show description below for all these links that I'm putting in. And if you're watching this on the VOD, check out the chat because I'm putting links in the chat right now. Direct donations, a one-time direct donation. If you're like, Pat, I want to help you out, but I don't want to be a monthly subscriber. Do you have a PayPal or a Ko-fi or anything like that? And the answer is yes, I do. I have a Ko-fi and a Streamlabs and a PayPal link. And if you donate to one of those, money goes into the same fund where all my Patreon and all of my Twitch money goes to, which will mean that I buy model kits. Everything goes back into model kit building. So that is a way to support what I do. We'll get back to building really soon, as I said. But I also want to talk about my Amazon wish list. Now, we do know that Lashbrook bought me some markers for my Amazon wish list. I keep this updated pretty rarely. I take things off that, like, right now, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have Amazon Prime shipping, but I'm leaving it up because in the new year, it will have it again. Just right now, it doesn't because of the holiday stuff. But as I said, it will again. But I put mobile suits. I put some really expensive, very inexpensive things like $12 model kits. It'll be a one-day build, but it's a cool kit. More expensive stuff, Lego sets, all kinds of different things. Things that have Amazon shipping, things that definitely do not have Amazon shipping, which is a shame. But yeah, if you want to purchase something off that list, I will build it on stream, and I will thank you. I'll shoot a video because you bought something from my Amazon wish list that I am now building. And so, yeah, I literally will make you a thank you video because I am psyched that you are helping me out by buying something off there. Also, as an alternative, USA Gundam Store. If you wanted to, but you didn't want to use Amazon, but you want to support me, you could buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. Not only would you be helping a small business, USA Gundam Store, but you'd be helping out me. And I promise not to pre-order something on USA Gundam Store because Harold was kind enough to send me gift cards, which I use to purchase that Gohan figure, which, as I said, has a model kit which has not arrived, which is a bummer. That is another way to support what I do. All right, we'll get to building real soon. I have a Discord. If you wanted some way to support me and it was free, join my Discord. I got a Discord. It's nice. Talk about model kits, post build photos, people post photos of things they're working on. Would love to see what people get at Christmas, so I'm hoping that people will post their stuff if they got anything that's model kit related. That would be cool. Let's see. A couple videos you can check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. A new episode came out today of Pat Bear's Anime Club. Please watch that. It is my Pat Bear's Anime Club Awards. It is the award show for my anime club. And I think it turned out pretty great. So please check that out. Baering the List. I'll have a new Baering the List up for Wednesday. This last one was me looking at 20 model kits I built this year. So if you want to see a video of that, come check that out. If you would like to see that. And then, all right, one thing I'm going to do is I am going to retweet my own tweet because I like to tell people that these are the things I'm doing. So I'm just going to reply to my own tweet and say, I'm about to talk about recent anime and start the Hajiroboshi Just letting people know I'd love to see a few more folks hanging out with us as we build and talk anime. If not, that's okay. But as I said, I do like it when people are here hanging out while I build. And our viewership has been a little light these past couple of streams, and I would love to see a few more folks watch it. Again, if you're watching later on YouTube, you're watching the VOD, there's no wrong way to check it out. I do like it when people are here live, but also understand if folks are watching a different way or watching after the fact. Totally get it. Or they're taking a break. They're taking a break from model kit build streams, watching other things, not watching any streams. Totally understand that too. But I hope that you will spend a little time with me. It's always nice to have people here and hanging out. But anyway, let's start getting on this kit. This kit is an Iron-Blooded Orphans kit, even though it is based on a mobile game. It still has the feeling of the kit. So we still have that hunched over demon-like body of the frame, the inner frame. It's still the same. And I'm going to talk to you about 3 anime shows that came out. We'll start with By the Grace of the Gods. This is the last episode of By the Grace of the Gods. That's right. We are wrapping up the story. A lovely little series. This is, if you haven't seen it, it is a slice of life about an isekai. It's an isekai adventure, but it's mostly slice of lifey about a guy who dies from he has a brain aneurysm and then falls and dies. And he is reborn as a young boy in a magical land. And he can do magic and cool shit. And he meets a young lady and her family and goes on some adventures and has a good time. There's no opening theme. There's no opening animation in this episode because I assume they were just trying to pack in a whole lot of shit before it was over. Because it was the last episode, so they were just trying to pack in a lot of content. That happens. So instead of that, we just get Elia, the young lady. She is sad right now because they are in this place looking for rare birds. I got into Kumadana Drive recently and ran into a real interesting bug where the Funimation app randomly, for one episode, fed me Spanish subtitles. Lashbrook, that is a real odd bug, especially if you are not looking for Spanish subtitles. That's very strange. That's real weird. Yeah, that show never clicked with me. I watched 2 episodes. It might be something that I come back to, but yeah, it never really was like, I was never drawn to continue it. All right. So anyway, they're here to catch these rare birds or to summon a contract with these rare birds. But they do come back, including the Nightmare, the harsh one, the one that knows dark magic, shows up. Elia plays her violin, and the birds are fucking into it. She's very good on the violin, and she manages to form a contract with 9 birds at once, which is a ridiculously high number. She's only tamed one thing before. She's obviously a prodigy for it, but she's tamed 2 things. She tamed a regular old bird, and then she tamed a slime. So that is interesting for her. And then Ryoma's not going to be outdone by that. He's going to try to catch himself some birds, these rare birds. He learned how to play acoustic guitar in his regular life in Japan. He's not great at it, but he's good enough. Really, it's mostly just that, like, they're all like, we don't know what that instrument is. So he plays guitar, and it's pretty good. And he manages to form a contract with 5 birds, which is still really good, including that nightmare bird that knows dark magic. Because, like, he respects that Ryoma seems like strong as hell. And then we find out that one of Elia's birds is a phantom, which is even rarer than the nightmare. And the fact that the 2 are hanging out is kind of incredible. They're in the same area. Let's see, they have a farewell party. So here's the thing that's happening. We knew this was going to happen. Elia's going to go off to school. She's going to go off to, like, finishing school, basically. and Ryoma's going to strike out on his own. He's 12, but he doesn't want to just like hang out with them for the rest of their time and kind of live off their success. He wants to strike out on his own. He needs to be independent. So that's the cue for them to leave. So they're sad, but also like this is Ryoma's idea. He probably could get into that school. They have a heart to heart, and we learned that you know Ellie has been gifted all this time, but she once hurt someone by accident, and that really negative like affected her, and people think that she is like rumors spread about her. And like it would have been interesting if that had ever come up in the show, except right now, um, because that would have been interesting information to have. But whatever, we didn't get that information. Um, Basically, it's very funny because she's like, "This is a necklace that was a gift from my mom. I want you to have it and hold on to it, and then we'll see each other again, and whatever." And it's like, "This is an important thing to me. That's why I want you to have it." And he's like, well, here, have two slimes. These are important to me." And she's like, "Yeah, all right, I get it. You like slimes. Okay, sure." But they are very rare slimes. Uh, and one's I think she gets a healing slime and a scavenger slime. Um, anyway, the next day, uh, Ryoma says goodbye to everyone, and the opening theme plays underneath it. It's very nice. Um, and the gods that isekai'd Ryoma watch on, and they wish him well. And that's the end of it. Um, Also, this episode had a little like the nice thing about the show is they definitely paused on the whole these characters are the same age in the show and seem to be into one another because you have to constantly suspend the knowledge you have in your brain that this is a 30-something-year-old man that has been reincarnated into a young person's body with all his memories, and you have to be like, cool, 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 let's forget that part of it, I guess. And he is socially awkward, like he has no idea how to deal with that stuff. So like he's stunted in that regard, but you still have to be like, and I don't remember this part of the reality of this. And that's always weird. It's always a weird part of it. This is a charming show. I definitely really enjoyed it. Um, it's look. I'll just tell you this. This season we got two isekai where there is no harem. I cannot tell you if the third series because I stopped watching Standing on a Million Lives. If that becomes a harem, I do know there's one male main character and several ladies, and at least one of them has a crush on him, if not more. But I don't know if that show becomes that. But I will tell you that it is awesome to have two isekai where there is none of that stuff. Like this one, at most has like a cute little love story going on in it, but mostly is about this one dude being a cool adventurer and learning stuff. Uh, and, Kuma 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 Bear doesn't have any of that. It does have, like, family and found family. But, by the grace of the gods, does have a male lead. And to have a male lead isekai that is not, that there's no romance involved, it's a pleasant surprise. It is nice to see. Wouldn't mind seeing more of that, certainly. All right, I got to figure out how this connects. Um, just go like this. Sometimes these components connect in a way that is not abundantly or immediately clear, and you have to do a little like trial and error. This came together. Okay, I figured that out. But yeah, every once in a while, um, especially for if you're going to do anything from Iron Blooded Orphans, the Iron Blooded Orphan kits in particular can sometimes be a little confusing because um, the kits look like just demonic more than other kits. They've got a vibe to them that is just a little different. And so the chest, particularly, sometimes are composed oddly. But it's coming together, and I'm going to appreciate that. All right, so let's see here. We'll get this going. All right, that's a chest piece there. Then we got to attach the chest piece to this. Make sure that we're going on the right spot, which is this side. Locks in place. This is the back of the kit. This is the front of the kit. Get that together. And try to line this up right. Yeah, well, there we go. All right. All right, moving on. We had episode 11 of 12 of Maesetsu opening act because that show started a week after a lot of the other shows, so we are not done with it yet, which is good for me because it means I can keep talking about shows. This episode was great. It was, as much as I've said, my biggest issue with the show is that it features too many characters that are ostensibly the main characters. Like I would like it. I wish it was a little more focused. I did like a thing that happened in this episode, which was because all our groups are competing, except for J.K. Cool, our three groups are all competing together. So they all meet up at the cafe they hang out, and it was kind of nice seeing the girls, the young girls, Money Honey, together with the more established girls. It felt like they were being like accepted into the group, and I think that was cool. So Money Honey joined the other girls at the cafe, and Rin lays out the rules of the competition. So all the prelims for the new Comedy Kings happen all across Japan at theaters, and each theater is only going to have 2 that go to the finals. So it all gets whittled down, and there's like a first round, and I think there's a second round, and it keeps going until 2 teams can move on. And all the girls and Freak, their senpais, are all going to be competing. So it's going to come down like, they're competing against each other as well as everyone else. But they knew that going in. They also find out that J.K. Cool are judging, which we knew from last week, our last episode, so they know that now. They talk about, there's some talk about what material they're going to use. There's also a really nice reminiscence here. There's a thing where at one point where the Art Deco and Tokonatsu talk about how they met, and that was really cute. That was the thing that I didn't know if we were going to get that in the show. So it was basically in a gift shop at a store. They were both Rin and Mafuyu were looking to get the same like charm for a stand-up, and then they realized, wait, are you also into comedy? And there's like, that's the meet cute, was them like going for the same thing, which I think is adorable. And of course, then they realize that they're into the same comedy, and they all meet up and talk about what they like and what they don't like, and what kind of comedy they do, and that's how they became friends. And then there was an opening at the restaurant, so they all work together now, and it's like, oh, you get to see that portion. That was a element of the show I didn't think we were going to get, so that was nice. It was a nice little bit of business there to see them interact. And then we get to see them all going. It's an audience vote. Money Honey, they don't move on. They have an okay little set. We see the whole set, and it's very clear. This is their first time performing for like an audience, so it's good that they got out there and they're like pursuing it. But yeah, they're very green, and their act like still needs a lot of work, and they're very they're just very amateurish because they are amateurs. They're just starting out. We only see a little bit of Tonatsu's new set, but it seems to go well, and Freak's set also seems to go well. Turns out both of them move on in the tournament, which is great. We see all of the entire audition of Art Deco, and I thought that was weird. I thought the set was really funny, like genuinely, actually funny. It was like an act out uh, of Nafuyu playing an obsessed, like what her envision of a fan is. Like basically, it's just like, oh, won't it be weird when we have fans? And I imagine it'll be like this, and it was just an act out. It was like a sketch because that's the kind of style of comedy they do, is sketch based. And I thought it was weird at the time that we saw the whole thing. Now I know why it happened, and it makes sense. But we saw all of it um, because they all moved in the first round, except later, Nayata calls and say that she and Rin are dropping out. We don't know why. That's the cliffhanger. Now, I'm guessing the reason why is because when they're all together doing their like hangout after, Rin coughs at one point. So my guess is that she gets sick, and that's why they drop out. Now, I think that's interesting because it means that um, uh, we won't see them compete anymore, and we can focus all our energy on uh, uh, Tokunatsu moving on. So that's interesting that they did that. I think that's an interesting choice that they were like, we're going to put all our energy on in the show on these two girls. I'm about to put really tiny stickers on this kit, so this is going to be annoying. So I'm going to wax poetically a little bit about this show as I put on incredibly small stickers. Holy shit, these stickers are tiny, and I don't like it. But I'm going to put these tiny stickers on and talk to you about the show. Um, but yeah, it was good to see the acts. It was good to see the characters together. Next week will be the last episode, and I don't know if anyone's going to make it to the finals, but I am a little bummed that one team won't compete, but especially because they are like they're the ones who were talking about like getting representation from this thing and making moves, so they don't get to make those moves, and that's a shame. Uh, but it does mean that we can focus on cheering on one team, which is great because that is that my problem with the show is I care too much about I'm supposed to care about four different groups of ladies and one group and one other group. There's five duos on this show, and I'm supposed to care about all of them, and I don't know. I don't think that's a good call. I said this before. I wish that Maesetsu opening act had started as a manga instead of releasing a manga to help promote the anime that was coming out, an original anime. I wish that it started as a manga so they could figure out some mistakes because I'm sure it would have. I can't say I'm sure of. Wouldn't be surprised if it would have polled like people were like, hey, there's too many characters, and maybe they would have the anime would have made one of the characters role like the minor made it minor roles for some of these characters, minimize the roles, not make it minor. That doesn't make any sense. All right, these stickers aren't going on great, but we'll lay them there and then we'll move on. Yeah, these eye stickers don't necessarily want to go exactly where I want them. Not the best. All right, let me tell you about Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. This was the last episode of Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, and this was definitely a very funny episode of the show. It starts with the reveal that the princess is waiting for Santa to arrive, and writes a letter to Santa, and they're like, does she think Santa's gonna come? Does she what's happening? So the demons read the note. Turns out, oh no, the princess wants to return to the castle, which is a weird thing. At the moment, I was like, that's weird because she has had opportunities to escape and hasn't, and in fact has returned. So why is she suddenly like, I want to be rescued? Well, here's the thing. She wants to go back home to get her special Christmas underwear, which then is like, okay, that makes a lot more sense because she wants to wear her woolen special underwear for the Christmas season. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense for who this character is. That actually works really well for her character and who she's about. I'm like, okay, that works. That I'm like, I got it. Okay. So there's a lot of back and forth with the demons. Some are like, no, just what are you talking about? But other demons are like, well, she's going to try to escape anyway. She's going to want to do this. We might as well help her get this underwear for Christmas, because otherwise it's just going to become a hassle and a nightmare. So we might as well take charge of it. So the cleric, the demon king, and the princess transport themselves to her bedroom in the human realm. And they're like, okay, get this underwear, then let's get out of here. And they're like giving her some space because, she's getting underwear and they don't want to, whatever. They're nice. They're nice demons. But what happens? She falls asleep. And then we hear her mother's voice, the queen. And the queen is like about to appear because she hears voices and she's like, is that my daughter? And she opens the door to reveal who is sleeping in the bed. And it is QB. QB, the succubus, who I originally thought was a vampire, who kind of looks like the princess, but definitely not really. She definitely not really looks like the princess. She just looks like a girl, like someone else. Like their hair isn't the same. They do not look alike, but whatever. It's fine because her mom doesn't recognize her own daughter and is just like, oh, my daughter's here. Let's go talk, which is weird. Also, let me just tell you right now a thing that I didn't realize. Like, maybe I was supposed to know this because she does talk in the first episode, but the queen only appears in the first episode and the last episode. She's the narrator. The queen has been the narrator of Sleepy Princess and Demon Castle this whole time, and I had no idea until she started talking here that's the queen. The narrator has been the queen. I did not know that. And I don't think that would have changed anything about how I felt about the show at all, but it was a weird bit of information to suddenly be aware of. Like, oh, the narrator is the queen. Okay, cool. Anyway, apparently, so chaos and hijinks ensue as they try to rescue. The princess says she's going to help them get her body double, QB. And then there's also some embarrassing stories that they learn about the princess, and it's very embarrassing and it's very funny. But apparently all the humans are like, this is definitely the princess. We all agree this is 100% the princess, and there is no reason to doubt that this is the princess. And the demons are like watching this video because they're like, hey, the princess is back. She's returned. And they're like, that's definitely QB. Uh-oh, what's happening right now? Well, the real princess pretends to be the demon king and recaptures QB, or, the human princess. So basically, the princess is captured again, but this is the real princess kidnapping her. And apparently the queen knew the whole time. But for some reason, the queen accepts the idea because she's like, oh, well, it looks like you're having fun. And so she lets her daughter be recaptured by the Demon King and just fucking goes with it, which seems very weird, but that happens. And then, QB's been rescued, and then they have a big Christmas party. They have a wonderful little Christmas party, and is my favorite minor character in the whole show there? You bet your ass that the skeleton with an arrow through his head is at that party. Hell yeah. The prince, and also we found out why she wanted that underwear. She wanted her Christmas underwear because she wanted to see the teddy bear demons wear it. because it would be very cute. And you know what? It is. This is the wrong piece. I pulled the wrong piece out, folks. It is very cute to see all those teddy bears in Christmas underwear. That is very, very cute. Um, and that's the show. There is a moment where the hero is like, "Oh no, come back," because he didn't rescue her. I guess that's season 2 is his continued attempts. Um, but yeah, that's the end of the series. I will say that some of the middle of this show dragged. I think that Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle is totally worth you checking out. It's very funny. It is the main character is the voice actress of Rem from ReZero and Hestia from Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Um, and she has a ball. She's a great character. She's having a great time doing this character. It is silly. I prefer the episodes that are longer. Like this one was all one story. I like those more than the most episodes are like 3 small stories, and usually like one of them wasn't great. But every episode of this was good, or every part of this episode was great. Um, if you get to the episode with the harpy, just know that you're gonna maybe not like the princess because she's so selfish in that episode that when the harpy returned in this one briefly, I was like, "Oh, you stay, keep your distance, harpy. You're too nice to be putting up with the princess who's just taking advantage of you." But yeah, I thought it was a funny show. It's cute and funny, and I think that I would recommend it. Um, it definitely grew on me, and I think the premise is very fun. The opening theme is catchy and cute. Um, yeah, there are a couple minor characters that I wish had made returns, but I'm okay with that. And there are a few characters that I was like, "Oh, that guy's back. Hypno's back, huh? Okay, sure." Um, yeah, and we're just putting very small stickers on this. I'll tell you right now, talking about this kit, folks. If you don't like small stickers, then you should not get this kit because this kit has a bunch of tiny stickers, and I am not a fan of that. I wish it didn't. It is a high grade, but when was this made? This is what year is this kit? Oh, this came out this year. This is a 2020 kit. This is way too many stickers for a kit that came out this year. If it was like 2015, I could understand, but this kit is nowhere near old enough to have this many stickers necessary on it. Uh, that is that is surprising. Uh, in fact, you know what? I'm not even going to put these red stickers on. They don't mean anything. Well, maybe I will. I don't know. I don't think they really add anything, but maybe it needs it. So on the side, you can see it. Alright. There is a touch of red on this kit, so maybe I'll put them on there. Yeah. Alright. But yeah, I'm not loving how many tiny stickers are on this kit. It's very annoying. It's like just be either color inaccurate or give me all the right plastic pieces for it. But to do this half step is frustrating. All right. Hey, I know the last break was talking about having checking out Akuma Drive or Akubadama Drive. Anybody watching anything right now? It doesn't have to be anime. If you're watching anything on uh, out there, let me know. Let me know what you're checking out. Watching any TV, watching any YouTube stuff. Fell down a new rabbit hole on the YouTubes. Let me know. Let me know what you're up to, what you're watching. Uh, I'll tell you this. I have been watching a the highlights of somebody doing a shiny only Pokemon stream. So it was a Pokemon thing on Twitch where uh, they any Pokemon that they used, and they had like not even like ones that like would just like learn any, including ones that would learn TMs, had to be shiny. So if they had an encounter and it wasn't shiny, they let go. But if it was like they had to reset over and over again their main Pokemon to get one that is shiny, so they constantly like do that, and it's nonsense. And then there's one, I forget which game it was, I think, but it had like there's a shiny Gyarados in it that's part of the storyline, so that's kind of where the idea came from. I think it was an Emerald run, but that idea was just nonsense. So I was watching that. I think that is wonderful, complete and utter nonsense to do that. So, um, but yeah, let me know if you're watching anything out there on the interwebs. Uh, oh, we dropped a little frames at some point in the stream, but I don't know when that happened. But that's fine. We didn't wasn't a lot. I just noticed it now. We dropped frames for a second there, but that's okay. Um, yeah, but let me know if you're engaging in any content out there. If you're watching any internet stuff. Like I said, I'm watching that. Just a run of that, but I'm watching the highlights of it. I can't imagine being in the Twitch stream and watching that live. The highlights are great. Also, I watched in a row all of Donkey's, video game Donkey, all of Donkey's like um, year like top 10 lists or top 5 lists, which is very very silly. I've watched a few of them, but I went through all of them because I wanted to know the origins of just deciding that the Super Mario Bros. 2 was the best game of the year. So that was fun. Just like kind of going through all that. Oh, there's more stickers. Why? There's just so many stickers on this kit. There are just so many stickers on this kit. All right, let's go in here. Um, just started Assassination Classroom, which is weird. Yeah, that show's fucking weird, right? Because it's like very dark and very serious, and also completely bonkers and goofy as hell. And it bounces between goofy as hell and deadly serious. There are stakes in what's about to happen in the show, and then also like, uh, I'm not gonna say that there's a tragic no, there's a tragic backstory in that show that kind of comes out of nowhere and is like, oh, holy shit! Like I'm not gonna ruin anything, but there's some surprising pathos in that show, and also it's complete and utter nonsense and weird. Uh, and it's also a coming of age story, and like I don't know, there's really likable characters and very unlikable characters, and there's some growth there. Yeah, it's all over the place and weird as hell. Um, Not watching, but I've run out of big series I'm interested in on Shonen Jump apps, so now I'm just reading through that library alphabetically. Okay. Finally read through All You Need Is Kill. That ending is way different. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never got into that, so I didn't know that there was a vast difference. Um, but yeah, Assassination Classroom is weird. That's a weird show. I hope you're enjoying it. Uh, but yeah, like I said, there is a turn. There's some stuff in that show that it was very surprising, and also yeah, it does like really run the gamut, the gambit. Yeah, the gauntlet runs the gauntlet. Um, all right, I gotta put four. I gotta fucking put 4 stickers on this kit on this shoulder. I am. I'm telling you right now, this thing looks really cool, but has way too many stickers. And then eventually I'll stop talking about all the stickers I gotta put on this kit. So that goes there. Okay, I can see where that goes. That's 9. Um, Again, my next build stream is going to be this Thursday. I'm doing a Christmas build stream, so come along for that. Uh, a lovely Christmas build, Christmas Eve, I should say. So this Thursday, 9 p.m., I'm going to continue working on this kit. So that should be fun. And then my next gaming stream is this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing Pokemon Emerald randomized. It's a randomized run of Pokemon Emerald. It is not a Nuzlocke run because I am not built for Nuzlocke runs. I tried once and it was very depressing uh, to just have a Pokemon and get into a Pokemon and then lose that Pokemon. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. So it is a randomizer because those are weird and silly, but it is not a Nuzlocke because those are make me sad, and I just don't want to be sad during my stream. Uh, no, thank you. We got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna get these stickers on, and then we'll go raid. There are not many of you tonight. There plenty of folks hanging out, and I appreciate it. But not a mighty crowd this evening. But we'll still go and raid, even if it's just a couple of us, because it's still nice, and I want to give you all something to watch at the end of the stream. So I'll definitely try to find something good for you out there. All right, so then we need 10. So right now I am finishing up a bunch of series, and then I am catching up on the shows. I'm going to try to do that, because like for next Monday, right? I want to have something to talk about, but I'll talk about the last episode of Maesetsu opening act, right? Because that I'll be done with. But that's the only show I have next week because new shows don't start till January. So what I plan to do is I'm going to start watching shows that I kind of gave up on, and do that like one series per. So this weekend for Saturday I'm gonna get at least one series. I'm gonna get caught up on for Saturday. I want to talk about either Jujutsu Kaisen, perhaps, or Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I want to finish one of those two. And then for next Monday stream, I want to talk about the last episode of or this season of either Wandering Witch, Journey of Elaine, or I'm Standing on a Million Lives. But I'm going to try to catch up on the shows that I started watching and then dropped out of. I also might watch all of Irregular at Magic High School because I've heard the action in season 2 is pretty good, and then there's some really obnoxious brother-sister moments that I'm not looking forward to. But I hear that some of the action is good, even if the main character, the main antagonist, isn't a strong antagonist at all. And it's kind of a bummer. But there's a Valentine's episode that apparently is pretty good. And yeah, you kind of just have to, unfortunately for that show, just like be like, yeah, and the brother and sister have a weird relationship. And you just have to be okay with that, which is a hard ask of people. So I can understand why some people are like, nope, I can't deal with that show. I totally get it. But yeah, I might check that out. That's one of the things I kind of want to check out and finish up. All right, we finished the shoulder here. We got some progress done on this kit. I'm just going to attach that just for shits and giggles here. I'm going to take a photo of that after the stream is done. But that's it for that. So again, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out with me as I play Pokemon Emerald Random. Let's see if we meet some cool Pokemon. Let's see if we can win some gym battles. I'm going to start it up just to like play a little bit because I haven't checked it out in a while and remember where I was and what Pokemon I used. Also, the audience, you in the chat get to name the Pokemon. You get to give me suggestions of Pokemon names. No need to use channel points. You can just do it, and that's fun. We are going to go and raid somebody, so I'm going to go and find to see who's out there. As again, not a lot of folks here in chat, which is okay. It's all okay, but we'll find someone cool and send some love to them. Let's see who's doing something. Well, I think this is very fun. Mary Kish is playing Just Dance, and so that's awesome. So let's go raid Mary Kish as she's playing Just Dance because that seems fun. Mary rules, and why not go hang out with her as she's playing Just Dance 2020? That's a game I have seen zero coverage of, so let's go do that. But thanks so much for hanging out. Please come out and hang out on Wednesday. Come along on this raid. It'll be a good one. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Again, come check me out later this week. Thanks for watching now, and I'll see you in the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Let's hit raid and go. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.